Alright, and hello and welcome back to our OneClass channel. Again, my name is Joey. I'm going to be your math teacher for this session. So OneClass, what we've been going through is we've been going through kind of a session of verifying solutions for commonly asked questions in both the mathematics and also in chemistry. What we've been doing is we've been teaching you concepts through frequently asked problems. So in this session, what we're going to do is we're going to focus mainly on math, and we're going to do questions in the pre-algebra, algebra 1, and geometry type of questions for today. Again, my name is Joey. I'm currently an Ontario school educator, and my teachable subjects are chemistry and mathematics. So I have about 11 questions for us today for the hour, and we'll go through those questions together, and I'll teach you through the concepts through those questions. So let's get started. All right, so our first question of the day is what is the cube root of 1,000 here? So let's answer that here, and it's asking what is the cube root of 1,000. So I want the cube root of 1,000. Or is that asking what is the cube root of 1,000 here? So what we can do is we can actually rewrite this as with a term, right? We can say the cube root. So if we know a square root of 1,000 looks something like this, a cube root is something, if you stick kind of like a 3 in front of the or before this the kind of root kind of sign here, that makes it a cubed root. So similarly, a square root is something in terms of it's the same number times the same number equals the number inside the square root. So in this case here, or I'm not going to use 1,000 for example. So for example, if we're using a square root of 100, let's say, it's going to equal, I know that the square root of 100 here equals 10 because 10 squared is 100. So that's kind of my relationship between this and square roots. Or sorry, 10 squared, not 100 squared here. 10 squared is 100, right? So similarly, when we talk about cube root, we're talking about three numbers multiplied together to get the same three numbers multiplied together to get the number inside the root. So I'm asking, it's going to be some type of number cubed. So it will equal the number, will equal 1,000. So I can rewrite this as, okay, what is x cubed equals 1,000, or what is this? What does this mean? So we can say that, and again, they have to be the same number, right? It has to be like 1 times 1 times 1, or 2 times 2 times 2 equals some number here. So how we can solve this problem is we could use kind of basically two kind of different logics here. What we can do is we can do a trial and error for us to figure out what the cube root of 1,000 is. So I'm looking at this cube root here, and I'm looking at, okay, the two numbers that probably would go into this number, or what would be divisible by, would be either 5 or 10. And what we can do is we can take the cube root of those numbers and see if we get 1,000. So if I had, for example, if I had 5 cubed here, or I'll say 5 and 10 here, I'll say our factors of 1,000. So what we can say is we're doing a trial and error method. So this is trial and error. And what we can do is we can say that, okay, we can say that, what is 5 cubed? Well, 5 cubed would be 5 times 5 times 5, which would equal 25 times 5, which is 125. And 125 is not 1,000, so 5 cubed must not be the correct answer. And I'm going to try 10 as well. So I have 10 cubed here. This is going to equal 10 times 10 times 10, which is 10 times 10 is 100 times 10, which is 1,000 here. 1,000 is actually the number inside the bracket, so therefore it is 10 cubed here, right? So therefore I can say that 10 cubed equals 1,000. So therefore the cubed root, so I can cube root both sides here. So I can take the cube root of both sides, and then I would get 10 here. It would equal the cubed root of 1,000 here. And this here is my correct answer. So the answer here is 10. The cube root of 1,000 here is 10. And what they did was they kind of did the same thing here. So they kind of used trial and error to figure out that 10 times 10 times 10 equals 1,000 here to the power of 3, and then they just took the cube root of both sides here. So this solution here is correct. It's good analysis as well. It's actually in a new format with these guys here, so I think it's actually a lot nicer.